Good morning. So, as we're coming to the end of 2024, coming into 2025, I've been having a reflection on not just this year, but the last 5 years as a whole. Because the last 5 years of my life have been truly life-changing compared to the rest. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story of how it has happened and why I think it's very important. So, in 2019, around about this time last year, back end of 2019, a good friend of mine killed himself. Now, I don't want to be too morbid with this story, but the following day after he died, we went to go lay some flowers and show our respect. And basically what I did was I showed up to where he had died, and I basically picked up all of his pieces because he threw himself in front of a train. Now, at that time, I wasn't happy with my life because I wasn't in a job that I wanted to be at. I was lost with no direction. I was drinking heavy on a weekend, and then adding that into the mix, it really threw life into perspective of, like, number one, time's not promised, and number two, like, where you go in them dark places, you've got to be very, very careful, because especially as a man, you can quite easily go off the rails if you're not careful. So the reason I'm sharing this is because I know that, you know, there might be one or two people on here that might relate and been through something similar. Now, this doesn't define who you are, but it has a very impactful, it has a lot of impact on your life. Now, that were in 2019. Coming into 2020 is when I started my personal training, and this is where everything changed for me. You know, I carried that pain into, 2020, but I also wanted to change my life around because I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, drinking heavy, doing drugs. So, looking at this last 5 years, what truly changed for me was investing just shy of like $2,500-3,000 into myself through a personal training course, and then having the ability to be able to, learn and grow as a personal trainer. Now, the last 4 years, 3.5-4 years, been on the gym floor, and now the last 2.5-3 months we left. And in them 5 years, the amount of stuff that's happened, positively, growth, it's been nothing short of amazing. And now the next 5 years, from 2025 to 2030, I truly believe that it's a line for me just to exponentially grow as a man. All the stuff that's happened in the past has happened for a reason, and now it's time to grow and get better. So there's a reason I'm not shouting, because people are still asleep in bed. But yeah, I was just reflecting on 2025 and things that have happened, things that have shaped my life drastically over the last 5 years, and that was one of them. Also, another thing I want to mention is it's very easy to get stuck in your ways and think that the situation that you're in is permanent, but I can promise you that nothing is permanent. So the good or the bad, it will eventually change. It's inevitable. So that means that you can rewrite your story positively. Now, back in 2019, at one point I didn't think I could write my story or rewrite it. There was a point where I thought, this is it forever. And 5-6 years on, you realise that you can make magnificent amount of changes in a short space of time just by applying yourself and really getting clear on what it is you want. Most people I speak to, they don't actually know what they want from life or from themselves, and therefore just show up to work for sake of going up to work, or go out for sake of going out, go out to party because they've got nothing else to do that's meaningful. I mean, for the most people, including myself, you don't need to be drinking every weekend. I didn't need to be drinking every weekend, but because I wasn't clear on what I wanted from myself, that's what I found myself doing to pass time. And looking back on the last 5 years, coming into 2025, it's made me realise that last year alone, we're touching near enough a year sober, a few more days and we're there. Is that so much more fulfilling and wholesome things to do? You don't always have to take it to the extremes to have fun. you know, all for be fulfilled. So I'll let this van pass. Another thing that's crazy is just round here, probably like 20 years ago, we're at Center Parcs obviously. Around about 20 years ago, my granddad, my grandma and my family took me here. So I've been walking around here for the last 3 or 4 days with like flashbacks from being, you know, 9-10 year old. And it just goes to show as well, time does not wait for no one. It's like, you know, it's been 20 years since I've been here at Center Parcs up in Winfell, Lake District. Like, time waits for no one, you got to make the most of it, you know. But enough of all the stuff that gets you down, etc. This place is absolutely amazing for the soul. It's like very, it's very peaceful, very calm. The atmosphere, the birds, you know, there's something about it. You know, just log cabins everywhere. I think there's over 900 of them on this park. So yeah, getting up on an early morning walk, the sun, it's cloudy today, but yesterday the sun was nice and clear sky, absolutely beautiful. But regardless of it being clear or not, it's still a beautiful place to be.